Assume that a procedure yields a binomial distribution where n equals 184 trials and the probability of success for one trial is p equals 0.51 or 51%. Find the mean and the standard deviation. We know that the mean for the binomial distribution is equal to the number of trials times the probability of success. So that will leave us with 184 times 0.51. Here is the thing. The probability needs to be turned into a decimal form. So if it's given in a percentage form, let's say if this was given 51%, it must be changed into a decimal form before you find the mean. And then it is up to you now to find the answer. You can find the answer there. For the standard deviation, for the binomial distribution, it is the square root of n times p times 1 minus p. So it is basically the square root of the mean times the probability of failure. So and to put that in numbers, we're going to say this is equal to the square root of 184 times 0.51 times, open parentheses, 1 minus 0.51. The first operation you will be doing, if you're not working in Excel, you will be doing the parentheses first. So you're going to find 1 minus 0.51, which is 0.49. You multiply that with 0.51. You multiply that with 184. After you find the final answer, you're going to take the square root of the final answer here, of the product here, and that is going to be, if you round it, it's going to be approximately, but that is going to be the standard deviation. You're going to do the math here also. If you are asked to find the variance, the only difference between the standard deviation and the variance sometimes is referred to as sigma square. It is basically the first step you do before you take the square root. So you're going to say n times p times 1 minus p is the variance. For this specific question, it's going to be 184 times 0.51 times 1 minus 0.51. You have to observe the order of operations. So you're going to do the 1 minus 0.51 parentheses first. To remind you, it's PEMDAS. That is the order of operation. Parentheses first, exponents next, multiplication, addition as they show up from left to right, and then eventually you will do addition, subtraction as you see them from left to right. In this case, you will do the 1 minus 0.51, which is the parentheses first, and then it doesn't matter how you multiply them because multiplication is commutative and you're only doing multiplication. So you multiply the answer you get by 0.51 by 184, and that is how you get the variance. And then you can find the variance first, and then you can take the square root of the variance to get the standard deviation. So that's all to it when it comes to finding the mean and the standard deviation for the binomial distribution. You just need to memorize two formulas. The first formula is the mean equals n times p, which is the number of trials times the probability of success. And then the standard deviation is the square root of n times p times 1 minus p. That is the square root of the mean times the probability of failure.